okay, maybe I should be flattered, but honestly, I'm not. I realized that I no longer wanted to be like everyone else. If you're looking to be successful, there's one crucial thing that you need. You need to have something that sets you apart. Is there power in not belonging? It goes against all traditional advertising and marketing theory that people want to belong, and if you show them how they can be just like everyone else, have what everyone else has, then you can sell them whatever it is you're trying to sell them. But what if I told you the opposite is actually true? Is there power in not belonging? As a child, I never wanted to stand out. I always wanted to blend into the background and to be just like everyone else, because as children, often it's uncomfortable when we stand out or are different. But when I got to my 20s, I had a friend who almost emulated everything that I did. She would wear the same type of clothing that I would wear. She would try to laugh in the same way that I did. She would even wear the same perfume that I wore. This irritated me, and I didn't quite understand why. But I would often talk to a mutual friend of ours and just say, I just don't understand. Why is she being like this? Why can't she just be herself? Why does she have to copy everything that I do? And she would often remind me of the old platitude that we all know: imitation is the highest form of flattery. And it still got to me. I knew, okay, maybe I should be flattered, but honestly, I'm not. And it irritated me profoundly. And so I began sitting there thinking, should I actually be flattered? And I realized that I no longer wanted to be like everyone else. I valued my own uniqueness. In fact, I cherished my uniqueness. I wanted to be different. I realized that our unique quirks is what makes us us. It makes us who we are. The more you cultivate this and the more you bring out your own brand of uniqueness, the more successful you will be in life. You will find that when you are different, people flock to you. They want to know more. They're intrigued by this. But is being different critical to success? I'm going to argue that it is. And how can you go about cultivating what makes you unique? Care about people's approval, and you will always be their prisoner. Lao Tzu. Let's take a step back and understand why we strive for social approval in the first place. Why do we want it? Is it innate in us to want to have the approval of society, or is it a learned behavior? Well, turns out it's an innate behavior. It's a survival mechanism. Because when we were tribal, you needed to belong to a group to survive. You needed to belong to a society. And social approval is necessary for societal cohesion. Anyone who is nonconformist to the societal traditions, beliefs, behaviors became a question mark for that society. Was that person going to contribute in a way that worked best for all? And so being nonconformist comes along with the risk of not being accepted, of being an outsider, of being on the outskirts. Now, fast forward to the 1970s. And around this time, people began to put more importance on being your true self. There was more focus on the individual. What makes you different, not what makes you conform. It was a time of change. It was a time of revolution. Everyone was different and everyone was beautiful. However, the advent of social media, it's almost brought us back to where we were. And now the desire for social approval is once again high. And there is study after study which shows that young children, teenagers, and even adults require the need for social approval. It's why so many people strive for likes. It's why they strive for shares, because that is the modern day equivalent of being accepted into society. You are now a part of our tribe. And those who don't get likes, shares, and subscribers, well, you're once again on the outside. Are you really? I recently read an article from Cornell which talks about how people with a sense of purpose, people with a unique identity, are less likely to be influenced by likes. You also create more interest, because if you're looking to be successful, there's one crucial thing that you need. You need to be different than the billions of people that are on the internet every single day. You need to stand out somehow. You need to have something that sets you apart. So let's take a look at what happens if we are different and unique. What happens if people don't like who we are? They don't like our brand of uniqueness. what will happen? And can we succeed if people don't like us? Well, here's the thing. There are, in fact, billions of people online every single day. You are never, ever going to please everyone. It's just impossible because everyone has different likes and desires. And even if you try to be the most socially acceptable person, there will be someone who dislikes you just for that mere fact alone. So you might as well accept the fact that not everyone is going to like you. But what about those of us that are so unique that we push the boundaries, that we stir up a little bit of controversy? How can that help us, or can it help us in being successful? Well, in fact, it's necessary to be successful because it sets you apart. And if you're always worried about everyone else liking you, you're never going to be free to be yourself. The people that do best are telling their stories. They're showing you who they are because people can see this is a true person. They're not just making up a story to get likes. If you truly want to gain a loyal following, you need to have some sort of depth. You need to have some uniqueness. Be the exception. Be extraordinary. That is how you set yourself apart from the pack. David Meltzer. So, in order to be successful, we all need to be the best version of our unique self. And if you're constantly worried about societal approval, you will learn to depend on others for your self-worth. You give people permission to define who you are, as opposed to taking that into your own hands and defining who you want to be. You give them the power instead of taking it. And if you don't define your purpose in society, society will define it for you. Do you see the problem? Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Dr. Seuss. Detach from that desire for social approval. So what will we gain from detaching from that need for social approval? Every option will be available to you because you have now taken the power back and you have defined your own role, your own place in society. You are the one who decides, yes, I can do this. You gain a greater sense of self-respect and a greater sense of self-reliance. Because again, one of the problems with constantly wanting societal approval is that you also become reliant on society for your self-esteem, your self-respect, your self-worth. It's all defined for you. So when you detach from that need and you make that decision, I'm going to do it and be proud of who I am and what I do. When we realize that societal approval is not healthy, it's not necessary, we gain a greater understanding in either giving away your power or keeping your power. So if giving up the need for social approval is so beneficial for not only our self-worth, our self-reliance, and our success in life, why doesn't everybody do it? Well, there's a multitude of reasons why people don't. And they all stem from one emotion: fear. Fear of rejection, fear of disapproval, fear of confrontation, fear of ridicule, fear of failure. And to be honest, some of those things might happen. But when you get to the point where you have realized that what you think and feel about what you do and who you are matters most, you gain a better understanding and a different perspective. If you want to forge your own path, map it out and stick to it. It's going to be what works best for you. In order to be successful, you have to be true to yourself. You need to cultivate your own brand of uniqueness, your own brand of you. And that will be the biggest success indicator that there is.